Alright everybody, welcome back once again. I'm Roger and you are watching Speed Artist Reacts. Alright, so today we have another short horror film. This one is by Alter once again, and this one is called High-End Dying, okay? Now there is a disclaimer at the beginning of the film saying like this may cause suicide or self-harm. I've seen films that have disclaimers in the beginning, so I'm pretty sure I can handle it, but just wanted to warn all of you guys if you are very sensitive to content that's horrifying or maybe anything that you may be sensitive to, with whether it's gore or whether it's something, mental, I would probably skip this one. But if you guys think you can handle it, then stick around. I'll be sure to give you guys my thoughts right after the video here. If you guys want to watch this on your own, once again, listen to the disclaimer at the beginning of the video. You guys can check out the link in the description down below and check it out for yourselves. If not, you can watch me react to it and I'll give you guys my thoughts right after the video. So let's go ahead and jump in. Let's get scared. Raise the 8s.
Sorry, Chef. I think you should hear this. Dining at Elle's was like being on the Titanic moments before it hit the iceberg. Though the service and atmosphere were both far from abhorrent, Miss Vaughn's menu was
pretentious for pretentious sake. A far cry from her early days, and unfortunately reeked of chasing trends that held no artistic merit. Yeah. I know.
Chef, your nose. Don't let this stress you out. It's just one person's opinion.
How many times have I told you? He is not just anybody.
Oh wow, see, like a high-end chef or some kind of judge critiquing her food. Oh my god.
I have worked very hard to get where I am, and I will not let a magazine article take that away from me. Heard?
Yes, Chef.
Back to prep. Service is in 5 hours.
Yes, Chef. Eloise.
Alistair, thank you for coming.
It's rare that I return for a second critique so soon. But for Eloise Vaughn, I suppose I can make it.
She looks like an old friend from high school. This actress, the main character.
I know it's likely hard for you to believe, but I really am looking forward to tonight's affair.
Not gonna say any names, of course, but
I've worked myself
reminds
to the
me of
bone
somebody.
crafting this menu. Poured myself into it. I am certain it will exceed your expectations.
We shall see.
Would you care to know what he said?
I think I know what he said.
Julian, congratulations. You're my new head chef.
Thank you.
Eloise, in cooking, why you make a dish is equally as important as the dish itself.
This
feels arbitrary. It lacks heart. There's no you in this dish, and it shows.
Chef? Chef. Your nose. Chef,
Oh
another
my God.
soup now.
No.
She's...
Send it out.
Wow.
Chef, you can't.
I wasn't asking.
Damn, she's gonna send it out with the... Oh, I think I know what's going on here. She's like, I'm gonna put a part of myself in this dish. Literally.
Corn velouté with a foie gras whip and crostini de maïs.
Yo, man, I gotta say, I don't... Oh my God. Oh. I gotta say, I don't know how
Magnificent. His words.
when it comes to, like, you know, cuisine art, what do you call that? Like, just... that's a brand, cuisine art. But when it comes to, like, you know, food, that kind of art form of food, it's... I don't understand how, like, people critique it. I mean, it looks so boring. Oh my God. Like, it's really well organized. It's beautiful. I don't understand a lot about, like, you know, a chef's life. But to me, just the food looks very, like, dry. You know, maybe because, you know, I love, like, a lot of greasy foods, meaty foods. When I look at this, it looks really boring to me. But it's because I don't understand it. You know what I mean? Jesus.
Chefs! This is the only thing I
Yep.
want to see coming
Oh
through
my
that door.
God.
Got it?
Yes, chef.
I can't be the only one willing to put 100% of themselves into tonight. Can I?
No, chef.
Wait a minute. Are they all gonna start cutting themselves? Yo. What in the world? I mean, that looks good. That looks pretty good. Yo.
Oh, here's that.
Put his eyes in there? Yeah. Oh my God. They're literally like torturing themselves, cutting limbs off in order to please this guy. Yo. She just killed all of her staff. All of her chefs. What?
Are we ready for dessert?
Yes.
Chef, your jacket.
And he already knows that they've been cutting parts off of their bodies.
Eloise, did I ever tell you why I hired Julian over you? The culinary world is lacking creativity. It needs fresh blood.
That's what I was looking for that word, the culinary arts.
Working someone else's shop. Even someone as brilliant as myself. People often need to be pushed before they can truly put their whole heart into something. I suppose dessert will tell us whether or not you've been sufficiently pushed.
What? Self-sacrifice. Wow. Jeez. No way, bro. Oh my god. That is disgusting. He's like, you passed the test. Oh god. Oh my god.
May I have your attention, please?
Oh.
I can't thank you all enough for
I
coming.
mean, that
to
wasn't
celebrate
like
the
where
life
it's
of my
mentally
first,
disturbing to
the
me or
great
anything, but
Eloise Vaughn.
it was just really disgusting.
People often need to be pushed before they're willing to take risks. And I'm proud to say that I was able to give the motivation that led to tonight's triumphant new cuisine. Necro-Fusion. Ladies and gentlemen, you are all in for a meal that is truly to die for. To Eloise.
Oh my god. You're gonna... What in the world? This is nuts. Alright, y'all, so there you have it. Alright, that was High-End Dying. Okay, so, I mean, of course, it's High-End Dining, right? But High-End Dying is the title of this film. I thought it was definitely very disturbing, and very, to an extent, very relatable to real life, the whole pressure of performing well, whether it's in culinary arts or whether it's in anything else. I mean, I just watched Pieces of Me, I think it was from Alter as well, with acting, right? That had to do with acting, where, it's like people will do anything to please the customer or just a person around them that's constantly bringing them down, just to get what they want in a way. And the pressure is really, really real, where the individual will do anything they can to get to that top, part where they are now pleasing everybody. So in this case, it's the chef, it's a young woman here that's the kind of, that leads the kitchen area, the staff in the kitchen there. And so no matter what meal she serves, she always gets bad reviews, right? And of course, there's that one first bad review that one of the people read to her. She already has read it before. And every time this happens, she starts to bleed due to the stress and all of that. Well, of course, that's when we kind of are, we're leading up to something here. But of course, the bleeding begins just because of that, like the feedback that she gets. And, the next time that they're back into the restaurant, they go and make the meal once again. And I think, I forgot the second part, it just doesn't turn out well either. Oh, we get to the scene where somebody else is promoted rather than her. From the main judge, right? The main chef. I'm not sure who this guy is, but I think he's probably the owner or something, just a high-end person that comes in, and he, gives this like important position to somebody else. And when she realizes she doesn't get promoted for this position, she goes back and she's kind of standing over this plate, and one of her staff, one of the crew there realizes that she's bleeding again, once again into the plate. And before she kind of takes the plate away and says, hey, we got to get another plate, she goes, no, actually leave it in there. Because earlier we get this man telling her like, hey, there's no heart in this dish. There's no you need to put your full self into this, We have to make you reach your full potential, right? Sometimes that's no exact like definition. It's just, sometimes it's just, really high expectations from somebody, whether they burden somebody, they stress somebody out. It's not a real expectation, you know what I mean? But sometimes when these people say this, the person that's trying to please the other is like, believes it, and they do whatever it takes, They don't cut themselves slack. They don't give themselves value because of these critiques that they're getting. So this young woman says, you know what, leave it in there. He said he wants a part of me. We're going to leave that in there. So, of course, we get the plate to the main guy where he the main judge or whatever, and I'm just gonna call him the judge, you know, and he tastes the plate and he actually enjoys it. And so from here on, we see, you know, further into like see the next couple scenes, like every plate has like blood in it now, and then it just gets worse from there. Now every plate becomes literally a piece of somebody else, you know, like of the staff members. This continues on until, of course, all of the staff members are now dead in the kitchen, right? And every plate that this judge has eaten has been great. It's been getting good reviews, and she's been getting him to come more often. And so, you know, pretty much every plate has literally a part of somebody there, you know. So once it comes to the end, you know, she gets like the full like little, what is it, like a little interview or whatever, like from this guy. He calls her into the dining room. She steps into there, and he tells her like basically just congratulates her with how well she's done, and that he requires a final what is it, like a final sacrifice from her, I guess. And so this is when she grabs the blade and she, gives her what looks like, I don't even know what that was, that she takes out of her body, but it probably was her heart. I'm guessing. It looked like really, really long. I'm not sure what it was, to be honest, but it looks like she gave her heart to the guy. And so, at the end, it just kind of cuts off to a final dinner where there's a lot of guests now, and they're all trying these meals. And the most disturbing, cutscene right there at the end, where it's actually her entire body sitting on a table there, like on a plate, and then they're just like picking, greens off of her. Which, I mean, I was like, this is insanity, But at the end, this film brought vibes of like The Menu with Anya Taylor-Joy. I don't know or Anya Taylor-Joy. I'm not sure how you pronounce that first name, but which was a great film, by the way. A little slow burn, but it was good. I really liked it. But it definitely brought vibes of this because it was the same, concept like with chefs and the kitchen and the dining, and then something is clearly wrong with that area. I honestly never understood like high-end dining, like the actual high-end dining in real life. I think it's so like flat. I don't know what it is. Just I don't understand what's it called, like the chef's life. The culinary arts. It's really hard for me to understand that, but I've never thought it was very tasty when I see the food. I don't see it as really good. And it could be like a design sort of artistic piece, but it's never like where it's, oh, I want to eat that. I want to try that. Honestly, like I'm more of a, I'm going to go to the taco truck, get some tacos. I'm going to go get a burger. I'm going to get a pizza. I'm going to eat some beans, you know what I mean? And just have a plate full of all kinds of these things. But I've never understood like these little tiny plates with like, like it looks like some pudding on the side, some greens, and like a couple of red berries or something. I don't know. To me, it just seemed, and not to, offend like chefs out there, but it's just something I don't understand, and it really doesn't get my attention, and it doesn't look tasty to me, but that's just my view on it. I just never understood it. So I always prefer like a really big, greasy meal. You know what I mean? And so actually, this is what we get in The Menu. If you guys have seen The Menu with Anya Taylor-Joy, she eventually at the end gets a meal, gets a hamburger, right? And then she asks for a hamburger at the end, and she gets that final meal she wanted, rather than like the flat kind of smaller meals that they have in the culinary arts. So I mean, I related to that at the end. I was like, yes, that's what I would order. You know what I mean? So, I mean, those are my thoughts, you guys. I didn't think this was where, kind of viewer discretion advised. There's a lot of gore movies or films I reacted to where, I mean, it's not as, I mean, it's probably just me that I can take, content like this. A lot of people can't. So, I still went ahead and made my disclaimer as well in the beginning of the video here, the reaction, because of this film here, So anyway, you guys, those are my thoughts. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this one. I think this one was great. This one was very, very disturbing, very horrific, but it was very good storytelling. I liked where they went with it. I like how it felt relatable in a way as well, to not to that extent where you're literally chopping pieces of yourself, but sometimes people go to like an incredible, like unthinkable extent in order to please the other person. It's amazing, but this it's definitely felt relatable. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments, and let me know if you enjoyed the reaction. I will see you guys on the next video. Take care of yourselves.